A lot of conspiracies are based on truth. Now, we all know there are some out there that seem a little insane and outlandish, but from the years of research I've done, I've found that most of them have a pretty big basis of truth. Let's take, for example, even the term conspiracy theorist. Have you ever heard the conspiracy theory on that? Did you know that that term was made popular by the CIA itself? Why? It was to discredit those who spoke out so that the CIA, and now as it worked, the entire population, will discredit people by calling them conspiracy theorists. And that all kind of goes back to the JFK assassination. So that's kind of where all that came from. Was we all know that conspiracy theory. I'm going to be calling them conspiracy theories, but just so we are clear and on the same page, I, for the most part, believe the majority of conspiracy theories are, for the most part, true. If you're new here, I'm Sarah, and I created this channel to give you everyday practical ways to build a better life, to master yourself, to understand yourself and the world around you through self-mastery and spirituality. And you can't really go down the spiritual path without diving into some of these theories, because a big part of going through your spiritual awakening is the realization that the majority of things that we have been taught, that we have been conditioned to believe, are wrong. They are false. They are lies. So the ones I want to talk about today are, let's call them level 1 conspiracies. So there are definitely layers. And if you are someone that researches these, like you probably clicked on this video because of that. If you're more advanced, like down the rabbit hole, so to speak, you've probably already heard of most of these. But if you are kind of dipping your toe into conspiracy theories and wondering where the basis of them, then this is a really good starting point for you. So let's jump right into the moon, right? So obviously there's a big theory out there. There's a few of them, right? The first one is that the moon landing never happened. The second one is that the moon is hollow. Now, most of us already know about the conspiracy around the landing of the moon, but you don't really hear people talking about how the moon is hollow. So when NASA dropped it's like a module thing onto the moon's surface, it basically like rang like a bell for about an hour. So most of the moons in our solar system have some sort of a like denseness to them. So because of that, people question, well, why is ours different, right? If all of these moons in our solar system are dense and solid, but ours is hollow, many believe that it's fake. So the big conspiracy around the hollowness of it is that the moon was placed there. Tell me, I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on that. Do you think the moon landing was real? And do you believe the moon is or is not fake? The second conspiracy theory I want to talk about today is the fact that water has memory. I did do an entire video just on this. If you want to check that out, I will post it here. But it's funny because it's been studied, and it was a Japanese doctor. I'm totally forgetting what his name is. I'll put it on the screen here. It'll come to me. But he basically claimed that our human consciousness can affect water. Right, so what he did was like have water out, right, and expose different water to different like sounds and words and intentions. And then what he did was he froze the water and photographed it. And so what happened was the different, so say we have like one glass of water here and one glass of water here, and this one, you know, he sat there and he spoke badly to it, like cursed it out or said negative things about the water. And then on this one, he spoke like life and love and all these positive things into it, kind of like with plants, right? Because there's like a plant experiment about that too. He froze the water that he spoke to and put all these intentions and sounds and stuff in. And the pictures that came out of the crystallized water was very different. So like the ones he spoke very kindly to had these like beautiful crystals. It looked really nice. They were like more symmetric. Whereas the ones that he spoke negatively to and gave the negative intentions to were more like disoriented and like chaotic. Like they didn't look pretty like the ones he spoke kindly to. And so what this is showing us is that water has the ability to hold memory, to hold intention. And this is why, I forget even what video it was, but I told you guys how I speak into water before I drink it, right? So every time I fill up, I don't have it with me right now, but every time I fill up my water bottle, I speak something into it. Like, I know, may this water nourish me and make me healthy. May this water make me feel good. May this water bring me, you know, unlimited abundance. Whatever you like feel like doing, you can just focus it with your energy and like speak it in your mind. I have a belief, some would call it a limiting belief, but I have a belief that our voice and the sound frequency that comes out of us and the words that are spoken are a little more powerful. And so I actually out loud speak it into the water bottle. All right, now let's go a little deeper here. It's so funny because I can't believe I've never talked about any of this stuff on my channel. It just draws in like interesting people. But anyway, I want to talk about the simulation theory. And that is that we're living in a simulation. Think about Sims, right? Like you were, as a person, as a human sitting here and you're playing this game and it's the Sims, right? But what if we are the Sims? So essentially we would be the Sims that are in the game playing Sims in a game, and those Sims can play another Sims in a game, and it just continues down the cycle. It goes on and on and on and on. So what happens here, now this is still a theory that I've studied a lot, but it's still a little bit hard for me to grasp. But my understanding is that essentially if this continues to happen, right, you'd never actually know if you were in the true reality or not, right? Like think about it, it's like really crazy to think about. So like think about the Sims, like you're sitting here and you're playing the game Sims, and the Sims are in there and they're doing whatever you are programming them to do. They don't know that they're in a Sims game, right? But then you create a Sims game for your Sims characters, and then they think they have the control over the game within the game, right? So the theory is, well, how do we know that this is reality and we're not just a sim of a sim of a sim? It's a wild one to think about. The next conspiracy theory I want to talk about is another one that I just can't fully grasp. It's not in the sense that I don't believe it. It's just so abstract and so outside of our conditioned way of being that it's hard for me to fully grasp and comprehend. But it is a sense of that, like, time is not real and time is an illusion. And so if you think about Albert Einstein, right? He was able to prove that time bends, that it's relative, and that sometimes it even stops under whatever conditions. Don't ask me, I'm not sure. And then if you think about the string theory within quantum physics, the string theory is basically where, I'm trying to figure out how to like easily explain this. I'm here and you're there on the other side of the screen. You might be on the other side of the world. And scientists have discovered that these subatomic particles can communicate instantly as if there's no time there. So for instance, something that happens here with me, with the right intention and flow, can change something over there because we're all connected and because it happens simultaneously, and there's no time gap from me to you, wherever you are. And so what they teach in spirituality is that time is not linear. It's not like the past, the now, and the future, but that they're all kind of like stacked. So they're all simultaneously happening. So you're currently living, right? Your past, your present, and your future all at once, but they're on different timelines that overlap. And something that a lot of these, I'm going to call it by the word, even though whatever. I'm going to call them truth seekers, okay? Not conspiracy theorists. So what a lot of these truth seekers try to figure out, right, is think about things like deja vu or synchronicities, or I'm sure you've seen some of these videos online where things just like appear out of nowhere. And so what people say is, well, is that a glitch in the system? Just like if you're playing a video game and it glitches, is our reality glitching, making it a simulation, making it its own video game? Okay, another theory around this is that think about like a Mandela Effect, right? That these could be us jumping these timelines. Like if you think about this is your reality and then this is a parallel reality, and in this one the fruit of the loom symbol was this, and in this one the fruit of the loom symbol is this, but they're so close and they overlap and they intertwine, and we cross and change timelines so frequently that sometimes we might dip into another timeline, right? And then something isn't as we remember it to be, right? And so that's the whole like theory around the Mandela Effect. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know I can't get through a video like this without talking about dreams, okay? Dreams they're portals. I want you to think about, like, if you're someone out there that has had a lucid dream, a prophetic dream, astral projected, and it's totally blanking me right now. What's the scary one? I've had it happen twice. Sleep paralysis, right? If you've had any of those few things happen, how can we possibly say that dreams are just us sleeping, right? Scientists have always said that dreams are about our brains resting and organizing and things like that. But I believe, wait, no, I wasn't going to talk about my beliefs. Just like we were just talking about with timelines and time not being real, it is very possible that dreams are just other realities that we are in. And that's why I talk about so often the importance of working with your dreams and studying them and understanding them. And if that's something that interests you, I have a step-by-step video on how exactly to do that right here. And I'll give you one step deeper on this. I know we're trying to stay at like level 1 conspiracies, but we have a soul in a human body, right? Our soul is much grander than our little baby human body. So another little tidbit here, a little deeper theory here. I don't even know if I've ever read this. Maybe this is just my own. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. I don't know. You know, when you're trying to research and learn so much and meditate, they all kind of like flow together. So like, I don't know if I got this from somewhere or if it came from like my own dream experience or meditation. But I've always had this weird feeling that reality, the reality that we are experiencing right now is actually the dream. And that the dream is actually reality, right? So when our bodies and our conscious minds are asleep, but our soul is still out there and we're astral projecting and doing all this shit in our sleep that we don't even know about, to me, it's like, it makes more sense that that would actually be reality and that we are in this simulation with time not existing in this game where this is actually the dream. Especially if you go in and you start studying NDEs, which are near-death experiences. I do have a video on those too. I'll put that right here. And that's a cool one because it's based on a scientist perspective. But do you see what I mean? Where a lot of these intertwine and they overlap and they kind of feed into one another. And that's why when you do more of this type of research, that's why people tend to believe it more. Like when you have someone like me that looks at all of these pieces and not just dialing in on one conspiracy, and when you start to see the bigger picture and all the little puzzle pieces that fit together, it's really hard to sit there and be like, yeah, there's no way this is true. And let me leave you with a really, maybe this is more of a level 2 conspiracy, but let me leave you with a deeper, more interesting and fun one. Have you guys ever heard about junk DNA? So, allegedly, 98% of our DNA is considered what we call junk DNA. It means that it doesn't have the, and I'm no scientist, but from my understanding, it means that it doesn't have the DNA coding, like the DNA that you and I are think of, it is the 2%, right? So it makes you wonder, what is all the other 98%, right? Like, oh, scientists are just like, we don't know. We only know about like 2% of what your DNA is, and like, that's fine. So then, and I'm not gonna get into this one, but if you go back to my alien video, I'll post it here, and the history of aliens, extraterrestrials, and humans, there may be a little bit of a connection there, if you will. So I'm very interested to hear what your thoughts are on this video. I know I've never created one like this before, but you know, it's one of those things that's a little like dicey to make a video about because people are like get so crazy. But I am interested to hear what your thoughts are. I'm interested in what theories you believe in, and I'm interested to hear what questions you have or what you think about the ones that we talked about today. I love you guys so much. I really hope you found value in this video. If you did, please don't forget to like it and share it. It's free and it's all that I ask. And I love you guys so much. And don't forget, be limitlessly yourself.